GMT watches are all the craze, and there's really good reason for that. They're actually useful and usually very good looking. Today we have a very affordable, probably one of the most affordable GMTs that you can get on the market right now. That is the Timex Qtime GMT. This gets a Swiss movement now, and it is a GMT movement. It's a non-traveler's GMT movement, so this is an office GMT, but it's really good looking. It gets a friction fitted bezel, very similar to the other Timex watches that we're used to, but now slightly upgraded to be a GMT. Let's flip the camera and take a look at the new Timex GMT. So about 2 weeks ago, I did a news video on a new release in the Timex lineup of watches. That was the GMT. Today I have one to show you guys. This is an affordable GMT. These were priced or are priced around $219, I want to say, but you're able to get 15% off. So you can get these sub $200 if you use a new email address to sign up and get that 15% off. So I highly recommend that if you are interested in this watch. It's a good looking watch. You can see it looks like a Timex, but it is a GMT. What they've done here is they've changed it a little bit. Obviously the bracelet is different. The bracelet is very different actually. It gets I guess it's a more solid link bracelet, which I don't like. I don't like the look of the bracelet. I think it looks pretty cheap in my opinion. I like the steel weave bracelet that they were using on the previous version, but a lot of people complained about it pulling hair. I didn't have that issue because I don't have very hairy wrists, but I thought it looked the part. It sort of looked really good with the vintage vibes that this watch gives off. But you still get that Pepsi bezel, blue and red, 24-hour scale on there. You get a black dial. You get sort of raised applied indices. You're getting a GMT hand that has a red arrow on it. Really great vibes from this watch. You're also getting that raised domed acrylic crystal. I, of course, prefer an acrylic crystal to a mineral crystal, so I'm glad that they did that on this watch. You get the Q on the crown, you get the battery hatch in the back for changing the battery, you get a screwed in case back, 50 meters of water resistance, obviously pressed elements in this bracelet. As you can see, it is signed Timex right there. I prefer the old bracelet. Again, I'll say that. Even the buckle, because the buckle on the older version, the older bracelet, you could adjust it on the fly very easily. This, you have push pins, so it's not as easy. There's many reasons why I like that bracelet a little bit more. The bezel on here is a little bit tight. Now this will loosen up with use, but this is actually very, very tight compared to other Timex that I've had on my channel. This is a bi-directional friction fitted bezel. Not terrible, but of course, like I said, just a little bit tight. The same case as all the Timex that we are used to. So you have polishing on the top, you have brushed flanks on the sides of the watch, and then the side of the watch itself is all polished. And then you have a brushed case back, which looks very, very nice. And of course, you have that sort of Mercedes hand setup. You have a fence post hand for the minute hand, and then the hour hand is sort of a Mercedes hand without that Mercedes logo in the circle part of that. That is filled with loom, so you do get loom on the hands and indices. Even the GMT hand is loomed, and they're decently applied with loom. I wouldn't say liberally applied, but they are decently applied. We will do a loom shot at the end. And also, as I mentioned, $219 is what they're asking for this watch. On the bracelet, they make a strap version, which is under $200. That strap version is in black right now, and they have sort of a black dial, black bezel motif with that one. I think that they'll eventually come out with this on a bracelet and a strap option and lower the price on this as well. Eventually they will come out with a blue version, a Batman version, because they came out with a limited run of them through a different website. I don't remember which one that was. Those sold out. I'm imagining that they would do that on their regular Timex website eventually as well. $219. I paid under $200 with the extra 15% off if you sign up with an email, and you just need a new email address to get that code, and you can get 15% off the price of this watch. Now this is a really great alternative to someone who wants to buy a GMT, doesn't want to spend a lot of money on an automatic version of a GMT, because usually a GMT movement's a little bit more expensive, especially if you want an automatic. Now one of the other differences between this and the original Timex is that this has a Swiss movement, it is a GMT movement, and the original had a Seiko movement. Now whether or not that's an upgrade to you is really up to you, because if you like Seiko movements better, then obviously the Seiko movement was better, and this is not an upgrade. If you like Swiss movements better, this might be an upgrade to you. Depends on how you feel. You also get quick release on this bracelet, just as a heads up. You also get quick release, which is nice that they've added that here. I think that's pretty good. Let's do quick measurements, then I'm going to throw it on my wrist, and then we'll do a quick loom shot. We already talked about price. 38 millimeters basically at the case, and then at the bezel it's around 37.8, so it's just slightly smaller than the case. The effective lug to lug, or the lug to lug on here, because there is no effective lug to lug, is 44.3 millimeters. There are no male end links, even though it looks like it might have that, but it is not. And then there is a crown at 4.9 millimeters, and the thickness on this watch, including that acrylic crystal, is 11.8 millimeters. 11.7, which is pretty good. It's a little bit thicker at that little battery hatch, but you wouldn't even know it when you have it on your wrist. Speaking of what I have on my wrist, let me show you what I have on my wrist, and then we'll throw this on my wrist and we'll do a quick loom shot. Today I have the Leggera Essence 41. So this is the Essence, basically in a light form. Leggera means light, and this is a carbon fiber case, ceramic bezel. Really sort of an entry into the independent world of watchmaking. I think Formex are sort of you know, they do things that are really high end in a very simple way, and I really do like that. And this has micro adjust in the buckle, just a really cool gray strap and dial. Very cool watch. I really like that. So very quickly, here is the Timex on my 7.5-inch wrist, and you have a date there at the 3 o'clock. They didn't do day date, which I like also, so clear up the dial a little bit more. You have more hands on here, so I'm glad that they restrain there. You can see the bracelet is comfortable. I just don't like the look of the bracelet. I would replace this immediately, or I will replace this immediately, and I'm going to try and get a weaved bracelet to put on here. I like that weaved bracelet that comes with the Q Timex. Even though it pulls hair, like I said, for me it works. And there you go. On my 7.5-inch wrist, this looks very sharp. It's a very good looking watch. On a leather strap, this is very good looking as well. On that weave leather strap, metal strap, I think it looks even better. But very quickly, let's do a quick loom shot and then wrap up the video. There you go. Loom is expensive. Not a ton of loom on the indices. They're already fading, and there's slightly better loom on the hands. You do get a loomed GMT hand. There is one other thing I wanted to mention about this watch. It is not a traveler's GMT. It is a office GMT. The office GMT is basically where the GMT hand moves. When you go to set the GMT in the second position of the crown, you actually move the GMT hand in one direction. The other direction is the date, and that's really it. So of course, this makes sense because this is a very affordable GMT. Although with the quartz movement, I can't see why or how it would be that much more expensive to make it a true GMT. Maybe I'm wrong, but there you go. It's not. It's an office GMT, which is perfectly fine. Again, if you wanted to get an automatic watch in an office GMT version, it would be very expensive, over $500 easily. Seiko just recently announced a $500 office GMT. That's why I'm saying that. So sub $200, not that many out there. Here's one that I think is pretty good looking. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below of this watch. I like what Timex have done with this watch. I think they did a good job designing it the first time around. So the Timex Q is a good looking watch, and they added a GMT function to it. You can't go wrong. I think this is great. I don't like the bracelet. I wish they just kept that and left well enough alone, but there you go. They didn't do that, unfortunately, for me. A lot of people are probably happy about that. But tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog, all one word. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. However, I very much appreciate it. Anyway, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.